Welcome back. Okay, so today we're embarking on an epic quest. If you've been struggling to level up your TOEIC score, well, we're going to hack the system together. We're going on a highly targeted mission to master B2 level advanced budgeting and finance vocabulary. And by the end of this explainer, you're going to have the exact gear you need to conquer the absolute hardest sections of the test.
So, let me ask you, are you ready to beat the hardest TOEIC business finance questions? I want you to think of these tricky workplace scenarios, those dense emails, the super long meeting notices, the financial reports, as an impending boss battle. Because to survive and win, you can't just guess your way through. You need to be fully equipped with the right vocabulary and grammar combos. And that is exactly what we are forging today.
Here is our quest log for today. 1. Core budgeting gear. 2. Advanced finance armor. 3. Power phrases and grammar combos. 4. Our TOEIC boss battle. And finally, 5. Level complete and recap.
All right, starting off with Section 1, Core Budgeting Gear. It's honestly incredibly helpful to visualize these two opposite financial states. Take deficit, for example. Imagine spending your entire monthly allowance trying to pull a rare character in a gotcha game, and suddenly you owe your friend money. That negative balance? That's a deficit. On the flip side, surplus is when you've paid for everything you need and you still have extra cash left over for bubble tea. Deficit means you are short on money, surplus means you have extra. Simple as that. Now, let's build out our core inventory with 4 absolutely crucial items. First up is budget. Think of a simple spreadsheet mapping out your income and expenses. That's your financial game plan right there. Next is estimate. Picture someone guessing the amount of jelly beans in a huge jar. It's basically an approximate calculation of cost. Then we have asset. Visualize a stack of gold bars or a valuable piece of property. Assets are just things of value that a business owns. And finally, cash flow. Imagine water flowing into and out of a bucket. Cash flow is simply the movement of money in and out of a business. Linking these abstract words to these visual cues is a massive cheat code for your memory. Moving right along to Section 2, Advanced Finance Armor. Now, these two concepts trip up a lot of test takers, but they don't have to. Solvency versus liquidity. Think of solvency as your overall long-term survival HP. It's a company's ability to pay off all its long-term debts and stay in the game for years. Liquidity, however, is your immediate, quick-use gold reserves. It's how fast you can turn your assets into cash right now to buy a health potion or, pay this week's bills. Both are vital for survival, but one is big picture long-term and the other is right now immediate. Okay, let's equip some mid-level gear you will frequently see in TOEIC meeting notices and emails. An audit is a careful check of financial records, kind of like a detective inspecting documents with a magnifying glass. Fiscal relates to government or business money, often thought of as a yearly calendar marking the financial year. Appropriation is money specifically set aside for a purpose. Imagine sorting coins into labeled envelopes. And investment is putting money in now to get a profit later. Think of a small plant growing into a massive tree with dollar signs for leaves. Let's keep this energetic pace up because we're decoding more of these heavy finance words. Taxation is simply the system of charging taxes. Picture a portion of coins being handed over to a government building. A ledger is a record book for transactions. Imagine an old-school, thick, leather-bound accounting book. A dividend is a share of profits paid to shareholders. Think of a pie being sliced up and a piece handed directly to you. An equity represents the value of shares issued by a company, best thought of as a balancing scale showing fairness and ownership value. Visualizing these makes them so much easier to recall when you're under that test pressure. And just like that, congratulations, you've unlocked the final elite stats of the vocabulary section. No way we're letting these daunting words scare us. Amortization is really just gradually writing off the initial cost of an asset. Picture a big block of ice slowly melting away over time. Overhead refers to ongoing business expenses not directly tied to creating a product, like rent or electricity. Imagine a glowing light bulb above an office space. The principal is the original sum of money borrowed or invested, totally separate from interest. Think of a solid brick foundation. And valuation is estimating what something is worth. Picture a price tag being literally stamped onto a factory. All right, Section 3, Power Phrases and Grammar Combos. Listen, memorizing these action-oriented business expressions is literally the fastest way to clear TOEIC email reading sections. Ready? Here's the blitz. Review the update. Check budget. Confirm deficit. Request surplus. Handle estimate. Follow the procedure. Submit the details, contact the coordinator, provide an update, take appropriate action. When you spot these phrases in a TOEIC question, you instantly know exactly what the business action is. So the crucial part here is how we link these words together using comparatives and quantity language to describe changes. Here is your 3-step combo. Step 1, identify the base business result, like shipping costs. Step 2, add your comparative plus the word than, like are higher than. Step 3, state the quantity change or baseline, like expected. So, shipping costs are higher than expected. Or, stock levels are lower than last month. Or, the discount is larger than the previous offer. Mastering this combo helps you instantly decode any financial changes on the exam.
Which brings us to Section 4, the TOEIC boss battle.
The boss throws its first attack in the form of a budgeting and finance update notice. The question drops, what should staff members do? Boom! You counterattack by scanning the text for action verbs. The source text explicitly states, review the information carefully and follow the required procedure. That is exactly how you hunt for the right information. You look for those power phrases we just practiced. Direct hit. But wait, the boss isn't done yet. Here comes the second phase of the reading task to test your scanning speed. The question asks, who should they contact for more information? And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why those power phrases matter so much. You scan the text and instantly recognize the combo. The text says employees should contact the coordinator before Friday. The answer is the coordinator. You just defeated the reading boss. Now let's see how this all builds into the listening task. Imagine an employee says, I reviewed the update about the budget, but I still have a question about the deficit. The manager replies, please send your question to the coordinator. Okay, so if the first question asks, what does the employee have a question about, your ear immediately catches that core vocabulary word, deficit. If question 2 asks, what does the manager ask the employee to do, you hear our power phrase, send to the coordinator. By actively listening for these specific anchor words and phrases, the correct answers just map out directly in your mind. And with that, Section 5, level complete and recap.
Okay, let's look at your core takeaways from today's explainer. When studying abstract business words, always tie them to mental pictures, like our gotcha game analogy for deficit. In the actual test, always identify the business situation first, then connect the vocabulary words to the speaker's purpose. Rely heavily on recognizing those email power expressions, and please keep practicing your comparative grammar combos so you can quickly grasp financial changes.
I mean, look at this. We secured a massive haul of new knowledge in under 10 minutes. We successfully unlocked 20 advanced finance words, 10 vital business expressions, and the comparative grammar combos needed to use them all. You are officially equipped for B2+ finance questions. You leveled up your stats and completely beat the boss today. But you know, the game of mastering business English is huge. Now that your finance vocabulary is totally maxed out, I have to ask, what TOEIC business situation will you conquer next? Keep exploring, keep leveling up, and I will see you in the next explainer.